There was no doubt about it. You're black. This is what the world is going to be like for you. Either you can accept it that way or make your own way. During this time frame, being a black police officer, some things have happened that made me start to see things very differently. I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I grew up poor, but I went to a predominantly white high school. My mother wasn't around too much because she was incarcerated. I grew up with family members that were drug addicts and drug dealers. I was going into two different worlds every day. Hearing certain music that represented the life that I knew was very big. Like, it just made me fall in love with hip hop more. For my music, the first message I was conveying is love. I'm talking about find your love within all this craziness. What makes you happy? Find that and spread it. My grandmother was a very big influence on what I thought and how I acted. She grew up in the 40s with real live racism where people were getting hung. She came up in a world where there weren't any opportunities for her, period. She's like, we gotta put food on this table. I'm gonna work to support my family, and I'm gonna put them in situations to where they're not gonna be a part of this. If somebody called me the N-word when I was younger, my grandma says, well, how you gonna respond? You gonna fight them and be exactly what they see you as, what the world sees you as, or you gonna be something different? I joined the military in 2007. It was kind of scary. I was active duty, Navy, and then I switched over to the Air Force. But when I joined the military, I was actually trying to be a Navy SEAL. Didn't make it, obviously. The military has taken me so many places, and every time I go somewhere different and I experience a different culture, instead of comparing my life to theirs, I try to understand their life. It was a more realization like, man, I can do anything. I can do anything I want to do. There are people I hung out with in Philly that have never ever left North Philly. They don't know any other place in the world. That's that fear of jumping out the plane because you don't know. Hey, if I go, this parachute might not open. Hey, if I leave this block, what's gonna happen to me? I don't know. So I'm just gonna stay right here in my comfort zone. Sitting around and not seeing things is what makes me uncomfortable, not knowing what's out there. Yeah, I'll chase.
Okay, so
actually, so I fall super fast.
You're gonna be on the camera step.
All right.
I'm gonna hold your chest strap, hold JD's chest strap like this.
When I catch up to y'all, though, I'm breaking
We'll
it.
open.
Docking in.
Yep, docking in.
circle.
Cool.
Out, in, off.
Yeah.
I've always been adventurous, always. Don't dare me, because I'm the person that's like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be the one to try it. When I became a intel analyst, I'm inside all day long. That's why I had to pick up skydiving. You get to see the world from 13,000 feet. That is a whole new feeling. You gotta cross that boundary. You gotta jump out that plane. I get people that come up to me every day. Man, I thought about skydiving so many times. Well, come on and do it. Nah. It's a little too crazy. Okay, all right. Hey, man, I thought about being a cop. Okay, why don't you come and do it? Nah, especially not right now. It's a little too hot. That's the thing. A lot of people talk about it, but they don't want to be about it.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
I'm black at the end of the day. I'm black at the beginning of the day. I'm black in this uniform. You get these few protesters that really want to have a conversation. Now you got a group of 20 other protesters around listening like, whoa. The media doesn't show that though. The media show that one agitator that doesn't want to come over and be a part of it, and then they get arrested for doing something crazy, and they're like, oh, well, police just didn't want to talk, but they don't want to show the people talking. More black people have come up to me and held conversations with me. And every now and then you'll get somebody on the street like, yo, I hate to see you in uniform, you're a traitor. That's kind of a hard thing to take. You feel like you've been ousted by a community. It was one day when it was like 10,000 people. People were throwing rocks and Molotovs, and things were getting set on fire, and all of a sudden the gas goes off, it's this big cloud and you can't see anything. And the scariest feeling is like people are grabbing on you It is not intense until it is. You can be in a police academy for 9 years, but the day you hit that street, that learning process starts over again. Because there's no typical day as a police officer. Somebody called because they think there's a ghost in their washing machine. But somebody's cat is literally stuck in a tree. This is no joke. We get these calls. And then there's some days where I get nothing but calls where, oh, we got a stabbing here, we got a shooting here. Some days are super chaotic. Where I grew up, I knew the police that were on the beat. As policing changes and evolves, you want police to have more training. You want the police to be more involved with the community. But when you take away money, that community outreach isn't gonna be there as much. So you got a person that's there every day in the coffee shop, or the kids on the corner that's playing basketball, you can't get to know them, right? Because you gotta go from call to call to call, so you don't have time to sit down and interact. One of the biggest factors of de-escalating is knowing somebody. Literally just knowing a person can literally de-escalate a situation. Some people come out there and be like, I don't wanna go with nobody but Officer so-and-so, because I dealt with him before. I don't wanna do it with nobody else. You're asking a community to now turn and look to something different. Who's going to make them feel safe?
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
So now we protest, and now once again, you have America's ear. Everybody wants to be a part of the movement. Everybody needs to say something, right? All of a sudden, people are saying things about people they don't know about. Now you're just getting a whole bunch of woke people. Woke is nothing but anger, right? When you're educated, that's something totally different. Anybody who's protesting for themselves, you're wrong. You're trying to change something overnight. You should be protesting for the next generation. Those are the things that Malcolm X was doing, Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton. They knew in their mind that they would die before they saw the change, but they knew they were setting up the foundation for it. Don't stop protesting. Don't stop learning. See why people are disagreeing with you. I want some of the black kids to see the experiences that I've had and be able to go do that stuff. I'm talking about thinking beyond to a true future.